Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Buckeye Politics. It's me, your favorite Ohioan. So today we're doing, obviously, as you can see, we are doing the 2022 Senate prediction for November. Now it's about halfway through the month. Normally I make these predictions at the end of the month because I'm like, oh crap, I need to make them. But this time I actually remembered, and yeah. So let's get started with the safe Republican states. This is the first Senate prediction since the 2021 Virginia gubernatorial election. And with that, things look pretty good for us. Not going to lie. Obviously, these are all the safe Republican states. I'll get back to talk about them in a second. And these are all the safe Democrat states. But really, um, the Republicans are in very, very good shape for this midterm. In the House, definitely the Republicans will take the House back, no issues. We'll definitely have keep our control of the governorship majority, and I do believe we'll take back the Senate. Uh, just 6 months ago, I was really blackpilled on the Senate. I had us get maybe taking it back by one seat, but now I have us easily taking it back. And I apologize if my voice sounds hoarse at any point. I do have a cold I'm getting over. So yeah, yeah. So with that, we have the safe Republican seats and safe Democrat seats. I put Iowa as safe because Chuck Grass is a very popular incumbent. He has not lost by I use 10 plus safe margins, and he's not lost by one of those margins since like the 1960s or something crazy like that. So it's going to be safe. Missouri, anyone who says Missouri is going to be likely or even competitive is just coping. And Florida, in 2016, when Florida was still very much a swing state, Marco Rubio won the state by about 8.5 points. So in a red wave year in a red trending state, I see no reason he can't win Florida by more than 10. So now we're gonna go. Let's go east to west because that's more interesting. State of New Hampshire, I'm putting that as Tilt R. John Sununu did retire, or John's. What the hell did I just say? Chris Sununu announced he's not running for the Senate, but his brother John Sununu has talked about running, and with just the way things are going, I can easily see a Republican being able to win in New Hampshire. Biden is underwater across the country, and just national environment and opposition to the incumbent president can really benefit candidates down ballot. We saw that in New Jersey. I mean, Jack Ciattarelli really, he didn't really run a nationalized campaign. He didn't really run a super, I shouldn't say, he ran a good campaign, of course, but he didn't really run a national campaign or all that. And so even just because people dislike Biden and Chuck Ciattarelli was able to properly organize that message, similar to Glenn Youngkin in Virginia, he was able to make New Jersey very close. So I see no reason New Hampshire can't still go Republican just because of anti-Biden sentiment. State of Pennsylvania, we're gonna put that as lean R actually. Um, Sean Parnell, he had those allegations a few weeks ago, but I think most of those are pretty much cleared up. So I do think that he should get the nominee and should be able to win. Pennsylvania is very much an R trending state. In 2020, Biden was only able to win Pennsylvania by just over a point when he was able to get massive mail-in ballots and massive turnout in Philadelphia. He was from the state, and Trump was pretty much hated across the country. I shouldn't say hated, but he was not the most popular president. Biden only managed to win Pennsylvania by about a point. So if we can just get that anti-Biden sentiment out there, there's literally zero reason we cannot win in Pennsylvania by a lead margin. Ohio, my home state's going to be likely. Right now, I'd say J.D. Vance or Josh Mandel are going to be the most likely options for the Senate. We could see there's a lot of candidates running. Who will get the Trump endorsement is really whoever is going to go on to win. But right now, I'd say Ohio is probably likely R. With Mandel, it could be closer to a lean, but I still think Mandel would barely carry it by a likely margin, uh, just because Tim Ryan's not that great of a candidate. And yes, Josh Mandel may be very cringe, but Ohio is just such a red trending state, and he would have that America First populism kind of on his side, which would allow him to narrowly win it by a likely margin. J.D. Vance, Jane Timken, Bernie Moreno, literally anyone else would win Ohio by 8, 9, possibly even 10 points. I'm considering putting Ohio in the safe margin, still putting it as likely, but we'll see. Maybe next Senate map, Ohio will be safe. Wisconsin, that's a lean R state. Uh, with what's happening in Kenosha, most likely there will be riots, unfortunately, after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. That is not going to help the incumbent Democrat. at all, and it's going to most likely make more anti-Biden, anti-Democrat sentiment come up in the state of Wisconsin if the rioting happens. So far, I don't believe there has been any, but maybe there will be some in the future, in the pretty much tonight in the coming days, because the verdict is fresh. It was just more than 24 hours ago. So with that, I do think Wisconsin's going to lean R with Ron Johnson. It may be close. Wisconsin will probably be closer to likely. But with if Ron Johnson does decide to retire, which isn't an option, considering the fact I don't think he has yet announced, or he has not yet announced, I could easily see it being a few points closer. But really, Wisconsin's going to go red no matter what. North Carolina, it's another lean R state. Uh, Ted Budd, who got the Trump endorsement, it was a surprise endorsement, and it hasn't helped him too much in the polls recently in the Republican primary. But I still see no reason he can't make up for that and go on to win the primary. And any Republican should win North Carolina by a lead, maybe even likely margin, probably lead for now, probably about 4 points. North Carolina is pretty much a safe lean R state. It's going to it pretty much leans Republican in every election unless there's a crazy blue wave year or a crazy popular Democrat candidate. Georgia, I'm going to put that as lean R also. I see no reason Herschel Walker can't come in and topple Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock is going to be gone, hopefully. But yeah, I see no reason Herschel Walker can't win, especially with the anti-Biden sentiment being so strong across the country. If Herschel Walker just runs a half decent campaign, he managed to exploit some of the allegations against Raphael Warnock, some of those skeletons in the closet. I see zero reason Herschel Walker can't win Georgia by a lean margin. After 2022, yeah, Georgia's probably going to be gone. But still, I see no reason Herschel Walker can't narrowly carry it off and make Georgia a Republican state maybe one last time. That gives the Republicans a majority, but we're still going to fill in the rest of the map. Colorado is going to be lean D. Colorado is very interesting when you look at it. Colorado is really only a D+4, D+5 state, barely leaned likely, but it was just independents that swing heavily for the Democrats. Whether those swings can be reversed with a good Republican, such as a Glenn Youngkin type, a more moderate, someone like Glenn Youngkin is perfect for the Colorado, someone who can get the rural, hardcore, traditional Republican turnout up, while also helping in the suburbs, which are increasingly left trending. If we get a candidate like that in Colorado, I see no reason it can't be competitive. However, I don't see that candidate as of yet. I say the best option would be Cory Booker, but he's not announced. Not Cory Booker, Cory Gardner. Holy shit! I keep messing up what I'm saying. It's been a long day. But anyway, yeah, I see no reason that the Republicans can't make Colorado competitive. We just need to find that candidate, and I believe we can. Looking at the state of Arizona, that's going to be another lean R state. Arizona is just Biden is underwater with Hispanics in Arizona, I believe. He's underwater in Arizona in general, but with Hispanics, that's something that's telling because Arizona does have such a large Hispanic population. Blake Masters will hopefully get the nomination in Arizona, and he will hopefully go on to win the Arizona Senate seat by a few points. I'd say right now probably about a Masters +2 victory. And I'd say the suburbs and Maricopa County should hopefully swing back a little bit. I think a lot of that was just anti-Trump sentiment because, Trump was really not that popular in Arizona. But he can easily make that up, and so can any populist Republican. Arizona's not necessarily a neocon state. It's just a state that doesn't really like Donald Trump. So I could easily see us gaining back a lot of those traditional Republican voters in Arizona, and probably winning the state of Arizona by a couple points. State of Nevada. Tilt R. Right now, Catherine Cortez Masto is very, very vulnerable, I'd say, especially Adam Laxalt if he runs a good campaign. The DSA in Nevada has already completely shown their incompetency by approving. It wasn't necessarily the DSA, but the Democrats in Nevada approved the map that pretty much gave us 2 districts that are going to become Republican in the near future. Like, just seeing that shows me the incompetence of the Democratic Party in Nevada, and I really see no reason we can't take both the governorship and the Senate races in 2022. If we just use that anti-Biden sentiment that's pretty much very popular across the rest of the country, focus on those kitchen table issues, I see no reason we can't get massive gains in working class Las Vegas, suburbs in Reno, all that good stuff, and get turnout in the rurals just even higher. So yeah, Nevada is going to be tilt, if not lean R. Alaska, I'm putting that as likely. probably should be closer to safe. It's not going to be competitive. It's just like I said with Kelly Shibaka and Lisa Murkowski. With Lisa Murkowski officially announcing her running for Senate, that's not very good. I mean, I hate Lisa Murkowski, but yeah, her officially announcing her run for Senate is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the amount of Republican organizations and groups that are backing her still. It's disgusting. But yeah, that's the reason I think Alaska may be a little closer, just because of if Kelly Shibaka and Lisa Murkowski do kind of split the Republican vote in Alaska, which I could see happening, then I could see Alaska being under 10. I mean, in the 2020 election, it was just barely safe for Trump using my margins. Alaska was technically likely if you use 10 to 50. If you use 15 plus margin to safe, Alaska was technically a likely state, and not even really all that close to being safe. It was very much a likely our state. For my margins, it was just barely safe. But that's the point: is that Alaska may not be competitive in terms of like the may not be super competitive overall. But if you actually use margins and when you fill out maps, Alaska is technically a likely our state, and I do see it being likely our in 2022 for the Senate. Is it going to be super competitive? No, I do not expect a Democrat to even make it close in Alaska. By close, I mean like under 5 to 8 points, probably similar to Ohio margins, and we don't really consider Ohio competitive. It's just with vote splitting and ranked choice voting, a lot of crazy stuff's going to happen, so I think it would safer to put Alaska as likely than it is safe R. So with that, this is the 2022 Senate prediction as of November of 2021.